Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Biohazard Candy Kid here, coming back at you with another great video. All right, looks like I'm good on here. Oh man, so I want to talk about some things here. I want to pinpoint some things. I got some up here on the screen. I just did a video today, uh, over at the other studio, with my buddy, and uh, I'm going to go over a few things. We just did a video on RFK Jr. Make America Healthy Again. Okay. Um, Now you hear the terms "Make America Great Again," "Make America Healthy Again," and stuff like that. You've been hearing those terms from Donald Trump. You've been hearing those terms from RFK Jr. and other people within government, the administration, other politicians, and stuff like that. But what does make America great again? What does make America healthy again mean? Because remember, they're talking about America. They're not saying make uh, humans healthy again, humans great again. They're talking about the country of America, the country itself. That's what they're talking about. They are not saying make you or I healthy again or make you or I great again. No, they're not. As a matter of fact, who are they talking about? Make America healthy again. Make America great again. Okay? I'm going to show you who they're talking about. I'm going to show you right here, which was given to us, which was, well, the mainstream historical facts will say that it was given to us by the French, okay, during the 1800s. And that is the Statue of Liberty. Now, as you can see, the Statue of Liberty is a lady. That's why they call her Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty. America is a woman. It's not a man. That right there alone should tell you what they're talking about when they say make America great again, make America healthy again. This right here should tell you that they are speaking to a goddess. They're not speaking to anything else but a goddess. And I'm going to show you some things. I'm going to show you some things here that will be just some receipts for what I'm talking about, okay? Because there's a lot of you that you sit there and you watch things on the internet, you watch television, you listen to things on the radio, you read things in your newspapers, see them in the books, but yet you see them and they just blow right past you because you've been programmed that way to not see the things for what they are. And Lady Liberty, where is she? What is her purpose? She is out in the middle of the ocean. Why are they putting a woman out in the middle of the ocean? Now I'm gonna put this together. Think about women, for instance. Think about females. Okay? What do females have when they give birth? What do females have? What happens to a female? From time like at birth, her water breaks. Lady Liberty is out in the water. What does the ocean do? The ocean breaks. The water breaks. Do you see where I'm coming from? Where does the water break on a woman? The water breaks between the legs. We call it the vagina for the as the medical term. Okay? This country was founded off of all of that. And it goes back even further. I'm going to even show you that it goes back further. But what else is Lady Liberty out there for? Lady Liberty was not just a statue just placed there by the French. It wasn't given to us by the French as like, hey, I'm praising this new country. No, it was also out there as a signal for ships. for maritime law. That's why she had a torch. That's why she was lit up at night. It's for maritime law. They are using a lady for that, a woman, a female. This goes back all the way to the ancient times. You can look this up for yourself. I'm showing you receipts here, but you can research this for yourself. Albeit that when you do start to research it for yourself, you have to put in keywords because, you know, the internet, the algorithm has a tendency to send you stuff that will try to veer you off from the truth. Because they don't want you to go down that rabbit hole. Because once you go down that rabbit hole, then you become awake and you become aware. This is the Wikipedia page of the Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty. It'll tell you, you know, all the stuff you need to know, but it has Roman numerals on it. I'm gonna take a few things here. It has Roman numerals on it. Oh, actually, whoops. I didn't even show you. Hold on. Okay, so this is Lady Liberty right here. Okay, it's a goddess statue. This has Roman numerals on it. Now, why are there Roman numerals on it? See, that should also be an indication of who we are still dealing with. The Roman Empire never died. They just evolved into something else. They turned into something else. You got the church, and you got the banking dynasty. And you still got their military. I mean, we still have militaries around the planet. A lot of them are funded by the Roman Church, you know, in Rome and the Roman banking system, as well as other banking systems around the planet. But America is a woman. It's not a man. So when you hear Make America Great Again, Make America Healthy Again, they're not talking about you or I, meaning the population. They're talking about the goddess that is. That's what they're talking about. We can go on and talk about we're going to get the dyes out of the foods. We're going to get the chemicals out of the foods. We're going to make sure that we eat more meats than sugary foods, donuts and Cheerios. We're going to make sure that we get more vegetables and drink our dairy products and drink water and with lemon. Just to name a few things. We can say all that, but see, they are putting that in front of you to hide the truth. And this is the truth. And I'm going to show you some things. Okay? This is Beyonce. Now, let's take a look at Lady Liberty. What does she have around her head? Some type of a crown. It's a spiked crown. What does Beyonce have around her? A spiked crown. They are all paying homage to a goddess. What also has rings around it? Saturn, which is a goddess. She has rings around it with spikes coming out. These are the people that you idolize. These are the people that you worship. These are the people you see on TV, on the internet, hear on the radio, see in the magazines, that you see walking down the streets or, wherever. Okay? All right? And look at this, another goddess, Egyptian goddess. She has something that's circular around her with a U-shaped kind of bullhorn thing sticking out with a serpent. And she got the Ankh right there. And she got the staff with the prongs at the bottom of it, which is the right here. This is her name. Oops, my bad. Damn it, it's not letting me. Priestess of Hawthorne, or Prophetess of Hawthorne, was the title of the priestess of goddess Hawthorne in the temple of Dendria in ancient Egypt. I'm butchering the name. This goes back to the Egyptians. This is literally who you're worshiping. Okay? All right? um I'm trying to find where I read. But women are seen as goddess. I couldn't find the thing that I was reading earlier. But women are viewed as goddess in this world. Okay? The woman's body parts between the legs are considered sacred. They always have been. Always have been. I can even show you some more. I can show you some more. Here you go. Cardi B. A lot of you, you listen to her music today. You see her on the fashion show, runway show. But look at what she's doing. This is 2020, but still, look at what she's doing. Massive rituals. Massive rituals. Do you know who this is? Kali Ma. The symbolism behind the Hindu goddess of death. So literally, she is portraying the goddess of death, not the goddess of life, the goddess of death, Kali Ma. Kali Ma? Dang, what the heck happened here? Kali Ma is not a goddess for the faint of heart. With her wild hair, garland of skulls, and outstretched tongue, she is a force of destruction, transformation, and fierce love. Beyond her fearsome image lies a deeper truth. Kali, the Hindu goddess of death, is the ultimate liberator, shattering illusions and leading her devotees to spiritual awakening. Yeah, but Kali of death says it all right there. In a world where uncertainty and change are constant, Kali's presence reminds us that destruction is often necessary for rebirth. Really? That sounds exactly like what happened in the 1800s, where all the nations got together and destroyed the world for a rebirth, which would be the 20th century, 1900 onward, the Industrial Revolution, or the Second Industrial Revolution. We are headed towards another. What do you think 2030 is about? The Great Reset. Katy Perry did the same. She uploaded this image. All of these people, all of them are satanic. All of them worship these gods and goddesses. And they portray them as such. They put them on their social medias because they're trying to get the masses. They're trying to condition the masses. I mean, to the rest of you, it may seem as like, oh, it's just fun and entertainment, but no, it's not. If you look at if you dive deeper into it, you will see exactly what it is. It's occultism. And it's big. And I'm going to say some people are beginning to be awake to it. Some people are awakening. But it's a very small portion of the planet. There are those that are truly awake, fully awake. There are those that are just beginning to be awake. And then there are the rest of you that are still asleep, that have yet to be awakened. Only time will tell. So, all of this that I'm showing you goes right back to make America great again, make America healthy again. They are literally doing all this for a goddess. They're not doing it for you. I did this video here with my buddy. I'm going to play just a little portion of it. Let me, and I said some things in this video. Go watch this video. It's on States of Delusion. Okay. The States of Delusion right here. That's the channel name. Go watch this video. It was just uploaded today. It's a good video. It's long, but some of the things, that I was trying to say, well, I'm going to say them on this channel. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk about something. Okay.
Care of patients to the best of our ability.
Okay, let's go right to, let's see, right here. All right. Now let's full screen this. Actually, hold up. Let's even do one better. Okay. This is the background that I chose for this video. Whereas Brother Harlem chose a different background than I did. And I thought his background was totally spot on, okay? But why did I choose this background? Because in America, we know these as medical symbols to ambulances, the medical industry. I'm just speaking from in layman's terms. I'm just saying the surface level stuff right now. But for those of you that go beyond that, you know exactly what the serpent means. I mean, the serpent is even mentioned in the Bible. You know what this crescent moon means in the ancient world. You know what the cross actually means, this type of cross. Okay? The serpent with the cup behind me, this thing. So, I was trying to show the symbolism of the medical industry. For those of you that know, you know. For those of you that don't, there's plenty of information out there. You can research yourself on the internet about all of these symbols and what they actually mean and how they go back to ancient times. This is nothing new. I recall a long time ago that I heard someone, and I even researched this myself. First, I researched it because I was curious about what Christianity had to do with hospitals, doctors, the medical industry. And I come to find out that Christianity, like Christians, they were the ones that invented hospitals, invented what we so-called doctors a long time ago. And then I remember hearing about it in a live stream or a video. I think it was Spiritual Logic or Days of Noah. So one of those guys, someone like that. And they were talking about how Christianity had invented that during the Roman times. And these are the symbols. These are ancient symbols. But to the majority of you, these are just things you see on a hospital building. These are things you associate with an ambulance, with a what's it called? A doctor's outfit, where he has a patch on the side of his arm. Okay? So, I just lost my train of thought. I said I said on the side of a doctor's arm. And so here I'm just trying to show you, the symbolism aspect. Okay? That way you understand who is really controlling the medical industry. Because the serpent, what is that? Who is the serpent? And why are there two snakes? Why are there two snakes here? That's the symbol of duality. The serpent, I mean, we all know what the serpent is in the Bible. Satan, the serpent. Okay, the devil, dark aeon, darkness. And think about the crescent moon here. I mean, is this crescent moon? Or is this something blocking the sun? Think about that. Is that actually crescent moon? Is that actually like the sun blocking the moon? Or is that the moon blocking the sun? So we do not get sunlight. I'm just asking the questions. So literally, when you hear the terms, make America healthy again, make America great again, who are they talking about? Who's America? Lady Liberty. And I'm gonna show you some things about maritime law and why maritime law runs the planet, and how Donald Trump and RFK Jr. with their Make America Great Again and Make America Healthy Again, they are literally catering to maritime law. Okay? Now I'm going to let this guy explain it to you. And then I'm going to let someone else explain maritime law to you, but in a deeper form, a deeper fashion. Okay? So think of it this way. You're going to get the mainstream version, and then you're going to get what they would call the tinfoil hat version. The version that, that's conspiracy theory. That doesn't exist. That's fake. You're going to get both sides. And I'm going to tell you this. Okay, this guy's right. He explained it. Yes. But the other person, the other video, I'm going to tell you this. They're saying things that this guy is not going to say, that the mainstream won't tell you. They're not going to go there. Because if they did, they would be destroying themselves. So let's get to this video. And let's let this guy tell you a little bit about maritime law. All right?
A question we frequently get is, what is maritime law? Maritime law, law of the sea, is a unique collection of law based upon common law, judge-made law developed by courts, and statutory law enacted by Congress over the past centuries. Some of our maritime law comes from England. Some maritime principles that still apply today applied 200 years ago. It's a truly historical area of law, but an area of law that is still constantly changing. For maritime law to apply, three main elements need to be met. First, the incident must occur on navigable waters of the United States. Second, the incident must have the potential to disrupt maritime commerce. Third, the incident must bear a substantial relationship to a traditional maritime activity. What's navigable water of the United States? A definition used by courts is water that is subject to the ebb and flow of tides, or water that is presently used or historically used for interstate or foreign commerce. The second element, whether the incident has the potential to disrupt maritime commerce, really focuses on that word potential. The incident does not actually have to disrupt maritime commerce. Instead, you look at not the particular circumstances, but the general conduct of the incident. And the court makes a determination whether it has the potential to disrupt maritime commerce. A case comes to mind where there was a fire on board a vessel at a dock. The fire, however, did not spread to other vessels, did not spread to the dock, but the court ultimately determined that maritime law applied because the incident had the potential to disrupt maritime commerce. The last element, whether the incident has a substantial relationship to a traditional maritime activity, sometimes is very easy to determine. For example, fishing. Fishing is a traditional maritime activity. An incident occurring on or around a commercial fishing vessel is going to be governed by maritime law. Two swimmers, however, not connected to a vessel, may not have that third element met. A recreational diver going into the water with no connection to a vessel also may not have that third element met. An airplane crash in navigable water can be governed by maritime law and also cannot be. It depends on the nature of the flight. For example, most international flights over oceans could be governed by maritime law because they are essentially replacing what a vessel would have done. They are transporting people from point A to point B over navigable water, and if tragically that airline crashes in navigable water in an ocean, that's going to be likely governed by maritime law. Versus a plane that is not just transporting people over navigable water, but just happens to crash in navigable water. Or a plane that is used for sport or for aviation purposes that just happens to crash in navigable water, that may not be governed by maritime law. A lot of times it comes down to whether there's a vessel involved.
And would you look at that? Boat Law LLP, boatlaw.com. Huh, that's funny. Think about that. Here's a ship. Here is a ship. Boat Law LLP, boatlaw.com. Huh, really? It's funny who is part of this video. Right? I'm going to play this video back. Okay? I'm going to play this back. Let me see if there's anything else at the end. Alrighty. Alrighty. Now that was his version. Okay? Let me take you through all the steps one at a time. But not until you hear this. This is 15 minutes and 24 seconds long, okay? The two laws that govern the entire world. Okay? Pay attention. You just like if you need to rerun this, rerun it. Go back and, go back to when I played this. I'm going to play this again. But I want you to pay attention to what this video has to say. Okay? And stuff like that, cuz there are so many things that this guy left out. Okay? Let's get right to it.
Today, we're diving into a fascinating and eye-opening idea that hidden control systems shape our society in ways most people never notice. For decades, researcher Jordan Maxwell has argued that nothing in this world works the way you think it does. There's always more to the story. In other words, the rules and systems guiding our lives aren't always the ones we think are in charge. There are layers beneath the surface, layers of law, symbolism, and control that operate quietly, guiding everything from our legal systems and financial markets to our everyday decisions. Now, this isn't about some fictional secret society pulling levers behind a curtain. We're talking about real frameworks, ancient laws and symbols that are hidden in plain sight. The idea is that over history, powerful institutions develop two fundamental systems of rules that govern human activity everywhere on the planet. Most of us obey these rules without even realizing they exist. Sounds intriguing, right? Let's break it down in a conversational way, so grab a seat and an open mind. By the end of this discussion, you might question your entire understanding of law, governance, and personal freedom. The two ancient laws, law of the land and law of the sea. According to Jordan Maxwell, if you strip everything down to basics, there are two things on earth: land and water.
Now I'm going to stop it right here at land and water. You see, a lot of you think that gold, silver, you think that, your food, your vehicles, you think that your toys, like some people collect, video games and stuff like that. You think that those are valuable things. You think that those things matter most. But I'm going to tell you that the things that matter most on this planet, the two things are land and water. And going forward, you're going to see those two things matter even more, because the ones who control this planet, the powers up at the top, they're going to control the land and the water much more than you even see them do now. Oh yeah, you bet. You haven't seen nothing yet. Let's continue.
From that, he says, come two kinds of law, the law of the land and the law of the sea. It makes sense at a simple level. Human life has always been about territory, land, and commerce or travel, water. But here's the twist. The law of the land is the local law of the people in a region. It can vary from country to country. While the law of the sea, often called maritime or admiralty law, is international and uniform. Maritime law was developed for trade on the high seas.
Now, international and uniform. He said the word uniform. That's why captains of a ship wear a uniform. Think about it. Just think about it. Captains of a ship wear a uniform, and what do the people on the ship wear? Uniforms. Think about it.
And it's all about commerce, money, and navigation. Why does this matter to you? Because the claim is that maritime law, the law of the sea, now governs much more than just ships. It secretly underpins our financial and legal systems worldwide. Maxwell and others point out that the law of the sea is essentially banking and commerce law, and it's the same everywhere. Think about it. Your credit card works in any country because international banking rules make it possible. A contract signed in one nation is recognized in another. Global trade, shipping, banking, they all operate on standardized rules, as if the whole world is one big ocean of commerce. Meanwhile, the law of the land, like the constitutional or civil laws of each nation, only applies within that nation's borders.
Think about that. Think about what they just said. You got two different types of laws. You got the laws of the seas, which they don't have any borders. But then you got the laws of the land, or lay of the land, which have borders. And this is stuff they don't teach you in school. This is the kind of stuff they don't teach you. Well, they teach you some politics. They teach you some geography, banking, stuff like that. But they don't teach you this stuff. So I want you guys to think about this, okay? Rewatch this that I'm showing you, okay? But think about it. Leave it in the comment section. I want to hear your viewpoints. Let's continue.
You can do things in one country that might be illegal in another. Land laws differ, but the laws of global commerce are consistent. In a sense, the entire world is governed by commerce, and commerce follows the law of the sea. Jordan Maxwell gives a striking analogy. Countries are like corporations or ships at sea, and each of us is tied into this system from the moment we're born. Wait, how are we tied to maritime law? This brings us to some surprising symbolism. How the
Symbolism. What did I just show you? I showed you Lady Liberty, which is a symbol, symbology. I showed you Beyonce, which is she has a symbol over her head. I showed you a Kali Ma, the goddess in India of death, symbolism. I showed you the video that I did today with Brother Harlem, my background, symbolism. I showed you the symbols. That's exactly what we are governed by. The laws and symbols created by entities not of this planet and by human beings of this planet, meaning entities outside of this planet that came from somewhere else, and human beings that were created here, cultured here, cultured, like live cultures in a petri dish. Let's continue.
these laws operate beyond perception. The theory goes that maritime sea law quietly influences institutions we think of as land-based courts, governments, banks, by treating them as players in a global commercial system. Here's an example. In the United States and many other countries, courts sometimes display a flag with a gold fringe. Some researchers, including Maxwell, say that fringe isn't just decoration. It signifies a courtroom operating under maritime or military law, not common civil law. It's like a subtle signal that once you enter that room, you're in a different jurisdiction, an admiralty ship on land. The judge is often likened to a ship's captain who has absolute authority. If you've ever been in a courtroom, you might recall how ritualized it is. Stand up, sit down, approach the bench, get docked in a holding cell. Even the word dock for where the accused stands is the same word for where you park a boat.
Think about that, dock. And also, if this video will mention it, is also think about the robes that they wear, the black robes, the color black, and its significance in power. Okay, the color black. What else is black? Darkness. Aeon of darkness. Death. Think about that. I want you to think about that. Leave a comment in the comment section. What you think. Let's have a debate. Let's do a part 2 of this. Let's continue.
Coincidence? Or a clue to the law of the sea? Let's talk money, because that's where the law of the sea really makes itself at home. Ever notice how financial language is drenched in water metaphors? Consider these common terms and phrases we all use. Banks. What does a river have on either side? Banks. And what do riverbanks do? They direct the flow of the current. In finance, banks direct the flow of currency.
Think about that. He just said that. Banks, riverbanks. Now think about it. You have banks that are on land, okay? Like next to your local grocery stores, okay? But then you have banks that are connected to water. Think about that. What are ships doing? What are ships doing in the Panama Canal? What are ships doing down the Mississippi River, down the Yangtze River, in the Atlantic Ocean, the Pacific Ocean? Okay? What are they doing? They are transporting currency because all that product is making them money. Who is the biggest, or at least one of the biggest, shipping companies out there? Maersk. There was even a movie about Maersk because there was a big incident that happened with Maersk a while back. I saw the movie. Isn't it funny how Hollywood makes a movie about the shipping industry, about Maersk? Because it's Hollywood is controlled by the maritime laws. They control what you see on the television, the internet. They control the commerce. They control the products. Because if you recall, during 2020's doctor's visit, okay, what happened? There was a big shipping wide. There was a big shipping industry crash, meaning things weren't coming to the ports. There was a shortage of microchips being shipped around the world and produced. But they didn't tell you about anything related to maritime law and how they control what comes and goes, what gets sold and what doesn't. And that also includes human beings, not just the products you buy at stores. Let's continue.
Which literally sounds like currency. Money is thought of as a liquid asset that flows through the economy. Currency. We just saw it. Currency equals currency, the flow of water or money. It's the lifeblood of commerce under maritime law. Debt and drowning. When you have a lot of debts, they say you're drowning in debt or that you're underwater on your mortgage. If things get really bad, someone might need to bail you out. The phrase bail out literally comes from scooping water out of a sinking boat to keep it afloat.
Now I want, let's see. Let's listen into something. Pay attention and I'm going to explain it.
You're underwater on your mortgage. If things get really bad, someone might need to bail you out. The phrase
Okay.
bail out
Okay.
you out. The phrase
Bail. Now, is it bail or is it bow? Are we literally saying bail as what he's talking about, or are we talking about Baal? Who is Baal? The one that they worship, the evil one, Baal. Think about it. Is it pronounced Baal or is it pronounced Baal? Now, I know Baal is spelled differently also, but think about it. Think about it. How we see Baal actually spelled, not ball as in basketball, but think about it. How we see it actually spelled, what if this is the correct spelling? So instead of bailing you out, what if they bail you out? The god Baal? The evil one? Think about it. I'm just saying, think about it. Do your own research. I'm just showing you the receipts.
bail out literally comes from scooping water out of a sinking boat to keep it afloat. Shipping terms. We talk about relationships, partnerships, citizenship, ownership. Notice how so many important concepts have ship in them. It hints that our roles in society, citizen, partner, owner, are like roles on a ship. Even a business ships products, and we say goods are shipped whether or not they ever see a boat. These parallels might seem playful, but Jordan Maxwell insists they reveal a deliberate framework. The idea is that our ancestors, ancient merchants and bankers, set up the rules of trade, law of the sea, and extended that system to govern how we exchange everything, including ourselves. One of Maxwell's most provocative insights is about the birth certificate. He explains that when a ship arrives at port, the captain produces a certificate of manifest listing the goods on board.
Now, I'm gonna say something about birth certificates. I'm gonna say something about passports. Before the 1800s, you did not need a birth certificate or a passport to identify who you were. Man knew who they were. They did not need identification. Starting in the 1800s, there was a big push to come out with birth certificates and passports, some form of ID with a name on it. A name that you would be given by the system, although it was given to you by your parents, but part of the system. And what did he say? Goods on board. Who were the goods? Human beings. Because what did they do during the 1800s? They shipped a lot of people around the world. Human trafficking, human goods are a big part of this planet. It applies to ships. It applies to airplanes, trains, trucks, vehicles, wagons. I mean, humans are some of the biggest, what am I looking for? We are like the hottest commodity out there. Why do you think they have the term sell yourself? You go into an interview for a job, you're trying to sell yourself on how you can help the company, how you can be a good employee. You're trying to sell yourself. We all say, sell me this pen. But we need to not forget that you also sell yourself. You're trying to sell yourself as a good businessman that can sell you a good pen. Think about it. I'm just saying, think about it. Let's continue.
Similarly, when a baby is born, a certificate of live birth is issued, essentially a birth certificate, which Maxwell likens to a certificate of manifest for a new person. On that birth certificate, your mother is not listed as mother or parent.
As a new person, that means that they changed you from who you literally are to something new. Your identity has been stolen from you. It has been changed. They took it from you. Who is they? The many and the few that run the system. The ones you do know of, just to name a few, Bill Gates, Larry Fink of BlackRock, Donald Trump, those you know, the low-hanging fruit, the low-level, technocrats, politicians. But then the ones that you don't know, the higher-ups that you don't hear about, that control them, they are the ones that took your true identity away from you. Let's continue.
But often as an informant who notified the authorities of your birth. It's a chilling parallel, as if the newborn child is considered a product delivered by the ship, the mother, and recorded as property. In fact, Maxwell claims that under this hidden system, every human is considered stock upon birth, effectively owned by the government corporation of their country. That sounds outrageous. How can a person be stock? But he points to the way governments treat citizens as assets. For example, he notes that birth certificates in the U.S. even have serial numbers and may be tied to financial instruments on stock exchanges.
You see, you are considered a number on the stock exchange. You are considered ones and zeros. When you go to a restaurant, when you go to a fast food place, now some places call you by name. So say you go to Starbucks and you order a latte. They ask for your name. But some places, when you get the little receipt, let's say this is a receipt, they call you by number. Because within their system, you are just a number. This also ties into the future of AI, the future of biotechnology, how you will just become a 1 and 0. and how they will use that as data. I mean, they're already doing that through your electronics. Through these websites. When you sign up, you are considered ones and zeros. You are considered numbers. Even though you put your name on there, really, you are considered a 1 and a 0. Okay? So when you see that on your passport, when you see that on your driver's license, when you see those numbers, that's what they consider you as first, not your name. The system, at some point in history, changed to that format, and it's been that way for a few centuries now. Let's continue.
Whether you take this literally or as a metaphor for how society values human capital, it's a powerful concept. From the moment we're born, we're drawn into an economic legal matrix that we didn't even know existed. Symbols, rituals, and terminology. The language of control. How do these hidden laws stay hidden? One big way is through symbols, rituals, and specialized terminology that most people don't question. Maxwell was a big proponent of studying occult symbols in corporate logos, national seals, and religious emblems, arguing that the elite love to hide things in plain sight. Think of symbols like the pyramid and all-seeing eye on the US dollar bill. Why are they there? To Maxwell, that pyramid, an ancient symbol of hierarchy and power, and the eye, symbol of knowledge or providence, represent hidden powers overseeing the financial system. It's like the architects of the system left their signature. Consider everyday rituals that might have deeper meaning. In a courtroom, everyone rises when the judge, dressed in a long black robe like an old mariner or maybe a priest, walks in.
What did I just say? What this video just said exactly what I said earlier. A priest in a black robe. Like a mariner. I didn't say mariner, but a priest in a black robe. The symbolism is the black robe. It's a symbol of darkness, but it's also a symbol of black magic and power. Think about it. Do your own research. I'm showing you the receipts. I'm just showing you the receipts. And symbolism, symbology is everywhere. It's on the clothes you wear, the food you eat, the things you buy, the buildings that you walk past, walk into. Symbology is even on the rocks out in the mountains. You know, where ancient people have drawn things on rocks, effigies. Think about it. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back, because that courtroom, that judge wearing a black robe, that's big. Let's bring it back. Let's play it again.
Everyday rituals that might have deeper meaning. In a courtroom, everyone rises when the judge, dressed in a long black robe like an old mariner or maybe a priest, walks in. You address the judge as Your Honor, similar to how one might salute a ship's captain or a high official. You stand before the bench. Etymologically, bench is related to bank, hinting that the judge is a banker overseeing the settlement of accounts. If you misbehave, you're held in contempt and may be put in a cell. You've essentially failed to follow the orders of the ship's captain in that courtroom.
Now, what did they say? He is the person who basically settles the accounts. So, what often happens in a courtroom? You have the person on the right and the person on the left, okay? You have the person on the right and the person on the left. And the person on the right is suing the other person for a lump sum. It is the judge's job to say, so-and-so, you are to pay that person a lump sum. Think about it. We're dealing with money here, just like ships deal with money. I want you to think about these things. Okay? Maritime law, money go hand in hand. These things are huge. I want you to think about both of these things. Put the pieces of the puzzle together.
These rituals reinforce authority. We don't question them because they're presented as normal, but from a symbolic perspective, they echo older, hidden practices of control. The terminology used in law and government is another piece of the puzzle. Have you ever tried to read a legal document or even the terms and conditions on a service? It's like another language. Words that seem familiar can have very different definitions in legal context. For instance, under statute law, which aligns with the law of the sea concept, a person doesn't necessarily mean a flesh and blood human. It can mean a corporation or legal entity. So in many laws, person refers to an artificial person, like a company, which, by the way, is why companies are sometimes called corporate persons.
They didn't just mean a human being as a person. It could mean a business or a corporation. United States Corporation. Lady Liberty. Lady Liberty can also be a person, a goddess. Okay, think about that. But they said corporation. United States is a corporation. All countries today are corporations, or they operate as a corporation, as a business. Let's run this part back. And yes, these documents on the surface level, okay, I understand it, but in reality check, you don't. Because they say persons and you think they're talking about you, but they could be talking about your business. Or, in another case, United States Corporation.
Another piece of the puzzle. Have you ever tried to read a legal document or even the terms and conditions on a service? It's like another language. Words that seem familiar can have very different definitions in legal context. For instance, under statute law, which aligns with the law of the sea concept, a person doesn't necessarily mean a flesh and blood human. It can mean a corporation or legal entity. So in many laws, person refers to an artificial person, like a company, which, by the way, is why companies are sometimes called corporate persons. This blurring of language can make us unwitting participants in the system. You might think something applies to you as a human, when in fact it's meant for the legal persona, often written in all caps on documents. It's deep stuff, but simply put, symbols and jargon are used to disguise the true nature of the rules we live under. Even our political systems carry symbolic structures that tie back to these ancient laws. Many countries, for example, are actually registered corporations. There's a theory that the United States became a corporate entity in 1871.
See, they're putting it here as a theory, but it's not a theory. You can go look this information up for yourself that it is United States Corporation, okay? There are many countries operating as a corporation today. Why do you think Donald Trump is selling the United States to other countries? Because he's selling off a corporation. United States Incorporated, INC, with a dot at the end. But at the same time, he's also trying to buy other corporations. He's trying to buy Greenland. He wants to buy Canada. He wants to buy Mexico. And that's because he wants to turn it into one sector of the planet. Part of the New World Order agenda, 2030 and beyond, where you will have different regions. There is going to be the North American region, NAFTA treaty. This goes back to George Bush Jr., the son, the one who reigned from 2000 to, 2008? He started the NAFTA treaty, didn't complete it. Obama came in. Now Donald Trump is trying to complete it. But what he's doing is he's selling off United States Corporation to the larger he's selling it off to the people outside of the United States that rule under maritime law. But also buying off he's trying to buy other countries so he can sell them off too. So that way they can be controlled under these maritime laws, under these new laws. And maritime law is old, but there are new laws soon to come on the books. Let's continue.
Changing it from the United States of America to the United States Inc., a topic for another day, but an interesting footnote in this discussion. The point of mentioning it is, if a nation behaves like a corporation, and we citizens are treated as employees or assets of that corporation, then it's no surprise that commercial law, the law of the sea, often seems to trump our individual rights under common law. Ever feel like the system cares more about money and contracts than about people and justice? This framework would say, it's by design. The system is set up to prioritize the flow of commerce and the authority of corporate entities, because that's the law of the sea in action, even on land. By now, you might be thinking, okay, this is a lot to take in. What do I do with this information? The first step is awareness. The idea is that once you see the hidden framework, you can't unsee it. You start noticing the symbols, the word tricks, and the ways systems treat you more like a number or a count than a living individual. And that awareness alone is empowering. It encourages critical thinking. Instead of just going along with every rule or assumption, you start asking questions. Who wrote these rules and who do they benefit? Is this law or policy respecting my rights as a human, or just enforcing a commercial interest? These are big questions, and just raising them in your mind shifts the balance of power a bit back to you.
And I will say this, you should start questioning the system. If you haven't started, start now. It's never too late. Start questioning the system now. Because once you start diving down this hole, you will start to enter in another realm, and you will see things that were hidden to you from the day you were born. Because from the day you were born, you have been tricked. The school system didn't teach you this. You see, the one thing that the higher powers fear most is the internet, is self-knowledge, is you going and learning about things that they don't want you to learn about. That's why one of the guys who famously invented the internet a while back, I think it was, 2017 or 19 or 20, basically he said, I wish the internet was never created. And he said that because people like me started using the internet to get the truth, to weave around all of their ideologies, all their stuff, and get to the rock bottom truth, because it's out there. It's in books. It's in the internet. Sometimes it's on TV. Sometimes it's on the radio. It's out there. You just have to know where to look. You have to know. You have to navigate the waters. Okay, as someone of maritime law would say, navigate the waters. So question everything. Become aware of the signs and symbols, and become aware of the type of clothes that certain people wear. Be aware of the speeches that are given by prominent people, whether it be Donald Trump or whether it be, someone at Davos. Just be aware. And you will start to unlock a world that you have not heard of or seen before. And I'm speaking to the rest of you. I'm not speaking to those that are in the know, that you know about this stuff. I'm speaking to that other 70%, 80%, 75% that's not awake. Let's continue.
Jordan Maxwell believed that knowledge is power, that by educating ourselves about these hidden systems, we reclaim some of the autonomy that might have been subtly taken from us. It could be as simple as understanding your legal documents better, or recognizing when someone in authority is speaking to your legal person, your strawman as some call it, and not to you as a sovereign individual. Some people choose to explore legal ways to assert their status as living men or women, rather than corporate persons, a complex and often risky path, to be sure. But you don't have to go that far to benefit from this knowledge. Even in everyday life, knowing the game is rigged in favor of those who know the rules means you can start to level the playing field.
The game is rigged. There are video games, okay? And we all know what those are. But this is also a game. Just like a casino, it is rigged. It is rigged so you lose. But there are ways around it. There are ways that you can unrig it. If you start questioning, if you start awakening your inner brain, your inner heart, you start going into the deeper self, and you start seeing all the symbolism. You start seeing how they move, what they do. You can unrig the system. It is possible. Let's continue on.
You can make more informed decisions, whether it's in business, in court, or in personal finances. Once you recognize the difference between true law...
Let me bring that back. You can make more informed decisions. Man, that's powerful.
To benefit from this knowledge. Even in everyday life, knowing the game is rigged in favor of those who know the rules means you can start to level the playing field. You can make more informed decisions, whether it's in business, in court, or in personal finances. Once you recognize the difference between true law, fair rules on land, and legalese, the tricky waters of commerce. Ultimately, the message here isn't doom and gloom, it's hopeful. The two laws that govern the world, land and sea, don't have to govern your mind. By shining a light on the hidden aspects of law and symbolism, you take back some control. You become the captain of your own ship, rather than just a passenger unknowingly carried by the currents of someone else's system. We've journeyed through some deep waters today, exploring the unseen laws of land and sea that might be steering our society. Whether you're convinced that these concepts are literally true, or you see them as a useful metaphor for how power operates, one thing is clear. It's important to question, to dig deeper, and to not take the world at face value. Hidden control systems, ancient laws, symbols in our everyday life, they all urge us to look beyond the surface. Now, I'd love to hear what you think. Did any of these ideas resonate with you or blow your mind? Have you noticed examples of the law of the sea in your daily life, or symbols that suddenly make more sense? Join the conversation in the comments below. Your insights and questions are what this is all about. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, give it a thumbs up and share it with friends who'd appreciate a deep dive into hidden truths. And don't forget to subscribe for more explorations into the mysteries of law, history, and control. Remember, knowledge is power. The more we understand about the forces shaping our world, the better we can navigate our own lives. Thank you for watching or reading till the end. Stay curious, stay informed, and until next time, take charge of your destiny. Don't just ride the waves of the world, learn to surf.
Now, I'm going to put this video in the description. I'm going to put it in there, so if you want to go watch it, these two laws govern the entire world, okay? This guy didn't mention much of what the other video mentioned. He gave you kind of the basic terminology of what maritime law is, from the standpoint of a businessman, a man in a suit. Men with suits and ties, that's a dick tie. Think about it. Go look up suits and ties and the symbology of it. Go look it up and what it actually means. Okay? And why men put on suits and ties. And yes, it has something to do with authority. Because whenever we walk into a business and we see a man in a suit and tie, we think he has some type of authority, some type of power. we think that he is above us. But really, he is the same person as us. He drives a car just like we do. He owns a house just like we do. He eats food just like we do. He is no different. He is a human being. But because he's wearing a suit and tie, we think he has some authority over us. You see a person with a tracksuit on or some jogging pants and a t-shirt, you're like, that guy has no authority over me. That guy cannot run my life. You would be a fool to think that. That person can also have some authority. They may have some authority over you. They may be running your life. Don't let the clothes that a person wears fool you. Don't do that. Because there are people out there that have a lot of money. You don't know what jobs they have, but they run this world. And they wear shorts and a t-shirt. And you think, he's just one of those beach bums that, works down at the local taco shop. Think about it. Just think about it. But the suit and tie? See, let's see. I want to see how many views this video got. Okay. 30,000 views, let's say. This one got that many views, and how many? This was 9 months ago. But I was just checking that because one thing is, a lot of people will gravitate towards a person that looks like this. He's got a suit and tie. He's clean shaven. He's got a haircut. A lot of people are going to gravitate towards that because we have conditioned to think that is a person who is telling the truth. That is a person who has the information, who has the authority. Whereas if you listen to a video like this one, where the beginning looks like this, and the voice is of like a normal person, you're going to think, nah, that's quackery. That's tinfoil hat stuff. But that suit has sold you on the idea that this man, okay, this male is a person of authority, is a person who is telling you exactly what maritime law is. Which, yes, what they teach you about what they show you in school about maritime law, yes, he is correct. He's going down to just the bare basics of maritime law that everyone has learned about. Yes. But what this video is showing is what they won't teach you. That's the stuff they leave out. Why? I explained before. Because if they told you the truth about the judge in the black robe, about ships and captains and the clothes they wear and all this other stuff and the legal the monetary system, and the legal stuff, you would end the system immediately. Now, let's see here. The obscure maritime law that runs your commute. Supporters claim that reinforming or repealing the Jones Act would destroy domestic industry and imperial national security, but these doomsday scenarios are far-fetched. This is coming from the Cato Institute. Okay? This is March 20th, 2023. We're taking it back a bit. What with everything going on in the world, stewing over an obscure century-old maritime law might seem odd, but the Jones Act really does warrant such consternation. It is not just a terrible law that hurts hurts you and me and everyone we know, especially if they live in Puerto Rico or drive to work in the East Coast. It's also a cautionary tale against government industrial policies, which can have unintended consequences far beyond higher prices or budget overrun. Now, what did we see from 2020 onward? We saw higher prices, and we're still seeing higher prices, and we're seeing budget overruns. Let's just read this. By effectively barring foreign competitors from transporting goods between U.S. ports, the Jones Act has predictably inflated the cost of shipping and shipbuilding in the United States. That's the law's seen cost, which many of its supporters acknowledge but claim is necessary for ensuring a thriving industry base and sufficient supply of ships and mariners. But the unseen costs do the most notable damage, thus swamp any alleged benefits. I mean, think about it. Think about it. Think about this. We are moving into a system of robotics, into a system of AI. I mean, we have been for quite some time, but now it's been accelerated to the point of no return. At least some of the skeptics say that. At least some of the technocrats, some of us out there say that. And what is happening is you have an increase in what was I going to say? Cost of shipbuilding. But see, I don't see an increase of the cost of shipbuilding. You know what I see? That shipbuilding is going to get cheaper and more automated by AI systems. And pretty soon, you're going to have AI automated ships out in the high seas that are not going to be operated by human beings, although they will have a human engineer on board. They will have a human technician on board to make sure everything's running. That's where we're headed. The maritime laws are going to be the same. They're just going to have AI automated ships. Your ships are going to be robotic. They're going to be delivering your goods, by use of AI. You're not going to have a full crew anymore like you once did. I mean, for now, you still will, but as time goes on, you're going to have 1 or 2 people for maintenance on that ship. So they'll sleep and eat there, but they're going to be there for maintenance to make sure the computers are running smoothly, the AI doesn't malfunction and run into another ship or tip over or explode. You're going to have that. We are moving into that. And the new commerce is also going to be AI. You're already seeing that on the internet. What is all of this this commerce that we have today? That's on the internet, like e-commerce, electronic commerce, electric commerce. Think about it. There's a bunch of AI involved that's used for data analytics, data harvesting. So we are shifting from, we are shifting from an old world maritime law system to a new world maritime law system. The old one had human beings running the show. Now you're going to have AI and robotics running the show. I mean, we already start to see that right now. I can even show you something. China's fully AI-controlled 8,000-ton ship leaves the world. AI and autonomous ships, redefining risk in maritime insurance. The first AI ship ready for voyage. Okay, Let's think maritime de-legislation, autonomous surface ships, AI. Think about it. IMA, Insurance Insights Marine. Okay? Something that has to do with Marines, maritime law, ships, the ocean. AI on autonomous ships, redefining risk in marine insurance. Autonomous ships, also known as unmanned vessels, right here under the rise of autonomous ships, utilize advanced technologies including AI, machine learning, and IoT, which is Internet of Things, which next comes Internet of Bodies. Okay, remember that. Right now we are at the Internet of Things, such as your cell phone, your smartwatches. Oops, let me showcase this. Okay, I'm my bad. So I started here. Okay, AI autonomous ships redefining risk in maritime, marine and insurance. The maritime de-legislation, autonomous ships, surface ships, AI, and then right here it says there was a thing where the first China ship came out, but the rise of autonomous ships is what I was reading. Autonomous ships, also known as unmanned vessels, utilize advanced technologies including AI, machine learning, and IoT, Internet of Things, such as your cell phone, your smartwatches, your tablets, even your smart city vehicles, okay, and your smart infrastructure, such as cell towers, 5G towers, your smart lamps, your street lights. So an Internet of Things, IoT, which next is coming Internet of Bodies, okay, IOB. To navigate and operate without human intervention, these vessels are equipped with sophisticated sensors, radars, and communication systems that allow them to collect real-time data about their surroundings. AI algorithms process this data to make navigation decisions, optimize routes, and even respond to emergencies. That is what's coming. The maritime law will still be there, but they will just have AI automated ships doing the work that a crew of 100 does now or did in the past, okay? The benefits of autonomous ships are manifold. They can increase efficiency, reduce operational costs, and enhance safety by minimalizing human error. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. We've had a lot of ship accidents, right? But those are done by design so they can bring in the AI system, the automated system. That's why they have a lot of these ship accidents. They're created on purpose. It's all theatrics. Minimalizing human error. A leading cause of maritime accidents, many components in countries are currently investing in autonomous shipping, testing prototypes, excuse me, and seeking regulatory approvals to bring these innovations to market. Notable examples include Rolls-Royce's autonomous ship project. Rolls-Royce has always had a hand in airplanes and ships for their engines. Now they are trying to get into autonomous technology. I mean, they want to come out with an electric Rolls-Royce car or SUV. So I'm not surprised there. And I like Rolls-Royces. They're nice. Don't get me wrong. But Rolls-Royce is one of the companies at the forefront of electric luxury vehicles, like high electric luxury vehicles. Rolls-Royce autonomous ship project and the Yara Birkeland, the world's first zero emissions, fully autonomous electric container ship based out of also the Yara Birkeland has been operating since 2022. Now, zero emissions, because why? Why? Because Rolls-Royce is trying to meet not just the deadline of zero carbon emissions, but they're all about the whole carbon emissions thing. That's why they are trying to invest in zero emission ships. That's why they built one. That's why it's been operating since 2022. Okay? All right? Now, if we go here, Britannia, okay? Remember, this first one was from IMA, Insurance Insights Marine. All right. This one is Britannia. Okay. All right. Recent advances in maritime autonomous surface ships and AI and automation. Okay. Now, what did I tell you first? I first told you that America is a corporation. It caters to a goddess. That's why we have the Statue of Liberty, Lady Liberty, a goddess. That's why I showed you Beyonce, who is dressed up as a goddess. That's why I told you about Saturn with its rings. Okay, all right. Then I showed, and then I went to Lady Goddess is standing out in the ocean, which has to do with ships, maritime law. Then I showed you this video where the guy gave you a basic layman term of what maritime law is. Then I showed you a second receipt of a video going deeper into the symbology and the esoterics and everything else about maritime law that this guy didn't give you. Now I'm giving you the futuristic side of it, which is basically the AI side, the future, the technology side, where we're headed, the singularity, 2025 and onward. Okay? Recent advances in maritime autonomous surface ships, AI, and automation. The loss prevention update provides insight into the latest advancement in maritime digitalization, including autonomous shipping, artificial intelligence, AI for short, base monitoring systems, and AI-driven solutions for voyage optimization and data calculations. This publication serves as a valuable resource for keeping stakeholders informed about these developments within the maritime industry. Please note, the Loss Prevention Department neither endorses nor specifically recommends any of these new technologies. I'm going to have to say they do. Okay? I'm just going to have to say they do. Okay? For those that know that Britannia and all these other people are connected, you know. For the rest of you that you don't know, I'm going to say they do support these new technologies. They are recommending them. Maritime Autonomous Surface Ships, MASS, MASS for short, okay? In parentheses, okay? Various trials are taking place on mass. The word mass, think about it. Mass, something big, something huge. But here they're calling it Maritime Autonomous Surface Ships. Various trials are taking place en masse. However, none of these ships are operating in fully autonomous mode, i.e. degree 4 of automation, okay? Except for uncrewed surface vessels, USVs. You're going to hear a lot going forward about USVs. USVs are typically small boats used under various applications such as hydrographic surveys, oceanographic research, and various military purposes. Below are some of the mass projects in trial mode. Some are commercially active and yet still in trial phase. Yara Birkeland, which is the one we just read in this article right here, okay? Launched in 2022, Yara Birkeland and its 124 equivalent unit, TEU, open container ship, fully battery powered, is commercially active but not fully automated yet. After final approval, it is intended to be fully automated. It is trading between Porsgrunn and Breivik within Norway's international waters, which Norway is one of the leaders in the AI sector, especially in the shipping industry. And also look for the port of Rotterdam in the Netherlands. That's going to be a very important place in Europe for AI shipping. Keep watch as the months and the years go by. Within Norway's international waters. An approval in principle has been received from the Classification Society DNV, which will enable the transfer of the project's chief engineer to remote operations center. Okay? Then we got the River Drone, the Hokurin Maru, Shirami. We got all these ships. Other developments: smart dock auto docking system by Wartzla, German, I think. This name I'm going to butcher it, but Wartsilia, or however you say it, has provided an auto docking system to the C-span trader and C-span transporter, 148 meters long, cargo ships. The ships are operating between Sydney and Vancouver, Canada. Canada. I wonder why Donald Trump wants to have Canada as part of the United States. I wonder why. Does this something have to do with it? Does this because there's an AI automated docking system there for the ships? I wonder why. AI and voyage optimization and other calculations on board. Andamore Shipping partnered with Deep Sea Technologies. Deep Sea. Now think about it. Deep Sea, or is that Deep Mind? Maybe I'm thinking of the AI program. I think it's Deep Mind where you can create images. I might get this confused, but put in the comment section below. I might get confused on this, but correct me if I'm wrong. Deep Sea is also the AI imaging program, I think, from China, or that might be Deep Mind, but correct me if I'm wrong. But partnered with Deep Sea Technologies in early 2024 to implement Pathia, the company's voyage optimization tool, across its fleet. Deep Sea Technologies also collaborated with Eastern Pacific Shipping, EPS for short, for a fleet-wide deployment of its Cassandra performance monitoring platform. Bearing AI development, the Fleet Deployment Optimizer, FDO for short, for Haipeng Lloyd to simulate and analyze the efficiency of different ships across various potential schedules. AI-powered optical character radar, OCR, is used for the automated creation of laytime statements for dry bulk carriers. This AI helps read cargo documents in different formats and prepares the laytime statement automatically. So the point I'm making here is that we are entering in an AI automated system for maritime law for ships, okay? Before or right now, it's all done by paper or computers, or your smart device. But pretty soon, it's all going to be done by an automated AI system. Okay, that's coming. We are at the beginning stages of it. We've been at the beginning stages of it, and Donald Trump is one of the leaders who is for this. He is setting up maritime laws. He is setting up certain laws here in the United States, basically to help push this along. So Donald Trump, right here, it even says, as of 2025, Donald Trump, his administration, has focused on promoting a minimally burdensome national policy framework for AI to maintain U.S. global dominance, primarily through the recent executive order targeting state level regulations. But they want minimal regulation on the development and deployment of maritime AI technologies, such as those used for route optimization and autonomous navigation, leaving the industry largely free to innovate without stringent government-imposed safety or disclosure requirements at the state level. Federal agencies like Coast Guard are exploring the use of AI for their own operations, signaling a proactive stance on adopting the technology. Donald Trump is making it. He literally passed a law saying AI will have no rules and restrictions for at least 10 years. And for the shipping industry, I mean, that's great for them. So the Coast Guard is even talking about employing AI for their own use. Now, why the Coast Guard? What does the Coast Guard do? When there's illegal activities out there, they send the Coast Guard out there. And the AI will optimize that. The AI will do the police enforcing out in the waters. That is done by humans now, but soon will be done by AI, automated ships, robots. The surveillance state. There is also a panopticon within the oceans, the waters on this planet. When you are traveling on your own boat that you own, you are in a panopticon because literally there is a all-seeing entity that sees you out in the ocean. They see all of you. Think about it. I want you to think about it. Ensuring national policy framework for artificial intelligence. The White House, this comes from the whitehouse.gov themselves right here. By authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered, Section 1, you can read this for yourself, the whitehouse.gov, Section 1, purpose. The United States leadership in artificial intelligence will promote United States national and economic security and dominance across many domains. Pursuant to Executive Order 179 of January 2023-25, January 23rd, 2025, removing barriers to American leadership in artificial intelligence. I revoke my predecessor's attempt to paralyze this industry and direct my administration to remove barriers to the United States AI leadership. My administration has already done tremendous work to advance that objective, including by updating existing federal regulatory frameworks to remove barriers to encourage the adoption of AI applicants across sectors. These efforts have already delivered tremendous benefits to the American people and led to trillions of dollars of investments across the country. But we remain in the earliest days of this technological revolution and are in a race with adversaries for supremacy within it. That is actually true. Donald Trump is in a AI race with China, basically with Asia, with Europe, Russia, South America, Africa, Australia. The whole world is with the AI race, and Donald Trump wants to be at the forefront. That's why he wants America to still control the high seas, because because if we control the high seas, we are still at the forefront. We are still out there. And he wants to control the high seas even further with AI, because he thinks AI will make things easier, will increase it tenfold, which it will. But at the cost of what, though? At the cost of human sacrifice. At the cost of soul harvesting your data, harvesting your DNA, harvesting your true identity. I am trying to put these out there so that way you can see how this world truly works and what's actually going on. And not the day-to-day fluff that they put on the internet or the television or that you read in your magazines or your books. All that fluff out there of like, oh, this celebrity dated that celebrity. Oh, that football player, made a touchdown and then, spit on the football. This is the stuff that is passing right over your head because you are distracted by all the comedy shows, all the sports. Now, don't get me wrong, laughter is great. It's healthy for you. There is a time and place for that. First, know what's going on, and then after, have some laughter, have some comedy. You know, sit around, hang out with your family, your friends, your aunts and uncles, and have a good time. I support that. But do that knowing, hey, this is going on. Let me see if I can do something about it. Now that I have the information. I've given you all the receipts today. All of them. I've shown you plenty of things. If you have an objection to what I've shown you, put it in the comment section. Put it in the comment section. Debate me on it. I'm going to try to set up a Jitsi so you can call me so we can have debates about it. I'm going to try to get that going and see how well that works. I'm going to test it out with someone like that I know first, like a friend of mine, and I'm going to see it, because I tried it out, but recording it, I don't know, something went wrong. There was no audio. So, but I'm going to get to that. And another thing, like, subscribe, share, hit that thumbs up or hit the thumbs down. It's up to you. And then at the front part of my page where it says other, go to my Cash App. I have a Cash App. So yeah, what I'm saying here is research these things for yourself. I've shown you the receipts. You can go to these websites yourself. I'm going to put a link to this video and this video, and then I'm going to link this right here because this is from the White House. Okay? All right? And I might leave links to these too. That way you can come see this. Come and read these things. You can read the full pages yourself. So if I made the connections clear, give it a thumbs up. If I didn't, give it a thumbs down. And then leave a comment in the comment section. I tied in everything. I tied in Lady Liberty. I tied in the whole goddess thing, Lady Liberty, and then here's another goddess. And here's all your, celebrities that you so watch. And I tied in how we have a goddess out in the ocean directing ships, which then I tied into maritime law, which this guy explained, okay, in this video, and this guy explained in this video, which then I tied in, how in the future, maritime law will still be here, but it will be a part of an AI automated system, which I showed you here. I showed you these receipts, and I showed you how Donald Trump is pushing back all the rules and regulations that were put in by the previous administration, Joe Biden. He's taking them off, so that way anybody pertaining to AI can do whatever they want for the next 10 years. He's relaxed all of these laws. So now these shipping companies can do what thou wilt with the AI. Now you're going to see a big push for AI in the shipping industry, within maritime laws, within the governance of the whole shipping industry. And not just the shipping industry. You're going to see it in the medical industry. You're going to see it in the financial sector, in the automotive industry. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I also showed you the video we did today. Go watch this video, Nutritional Psyops, the States of Delusion. Go check it out. I'm going to put a link to this video in the description. I even showed you the symbolism in terms of the medical industry, the snake, the importance of the crescent moon, or is this a moon going over the sun, because they're trying to show you that, hey, we are blocking out the sun because they know that the sun is very vital to your health. Okay? So I want to leave on a good note. Make the world a better place. Be the change you want to see. Beat the devil out of it. Expose evil, one camera, one microphone at a time. And go do something in your neighborhood. Start by changing your neighborhood. Make your neighbors aware of this stuff. Send them videos like this one. Send them videos made by other people exposing the system that we live under. And start changing your community for the better. Start a community project like build a local farm for your community. Get rid of AI infrastructure. Don't let your kids at a young age use a cell phone or a tablet. And if you must let them use a computer, give them a 30-minute runtime. And the rest of the time, tell them to go play outside. Eat the right kind of foods, not the wrong kind of foods. I'm telling you all these things because literally, if we don't do these things, the system is just going to trample over us. And then there will be a time when it will be too late. So I'm going to leave on a high note. So hit that thumbs up or thumbs down. It's your choice. Okay? Leave a comment in the comment section. Check out my my Cash App, and then go check out my link to my my Anchor FM, which I haven't done much on it since I last did something on it, and go check out my other videos. All right? I hope you enjoyed this video because this video right here is an important video. Just like any other videos I've done like this one are important. All right? Alrighty. You guys take care. Take care of yourself now. All right? I give you blessings. I give you blessings from the bottom of my heart, from my soul. My energy is spewing out for you to resonate with it. Bow as a candy kid is going to be signing out. All right? Peace.